All right, let's go over here to Super Mario 3D All-Stars and the future of this collection, because we of course know that March 31st next year, it's going to go away. It'll be delisted from the digital store. The physical copies that are out there now will be all that's left. Basically, once it's sold through in stores, that's it. No more shipments are going to be going out. That's same with the Game & Watch that they're making. Same with Mario 35. Basically, they've put a date on when this whole Mario celebration is going to end, and with that, everything else goes away as well. But there was something that seems to have come up, and I was surprised there was so much talk around this based on where this is all coming from about Mario, the Mario 3D All-Stars collection going forward, and if they could potentially still be around after that March 31st date. And I guess we would talk a little bit about the future of those games here today, guys. Enjoy these videos. Make sure you hit that like button. Helps out a ton. And if you're brand new here, hit the red subscribe button down below on the Spawn Wave Plus channel. And we're going to go over here to GameDaily.biz because they went over all of the different NPD results, of course, for September this past month. And that did include Mario 3D All-Stars and the sales that it had, which were very, very good for it just being physical copies that were tracked. Keep in mind, Nintendo, they don't share their digital copies that they sell. It's just all physical, and that's all we can really go by. Whereas Marvel's Avengers was #1, but it has physical, digital, all of that included. So it's hard to say how well Mario 3D All-Stars really sold compared to something like the Avengers. It'll be easier when Nintendo releases their hard numbers themselves, which they will, for September. And I know in, a week or so, they're going to release their past fiscal quarter. They'll release those results at the beginning of November. So we'll get an update on different sales, especially with the system, which is very interesting because they're already cruising up to 70 million units for the Switch that's sold. But in this article, Matt Piscatella, who is over at the MPD and Analyst, and will check out a lot of these different sales trends and do predictions and all these different things, had some commentary and thoughts around the Mario 3D All-Stars collection. This seems to be what has gotten everyone talking. I don't think these games will disappear like what would happen with the old school Disney Vault, but I think there may be additional flexibility and buying options. For example, a la carte purchasing options on eShop. The sales of Super Mario 3D All-Stars should provide additional confidence in bringing other legacy titles to the new platforms, to say the least. But again, it's Nintendo, so I expect to be surprised. That apparently, right there was the statement that had several videos popping up, a lot of conversation online about Mario 3D All-Stars and what will happen after March 31st. I'll tell you what's going to happen. They will disappear. That's kind of it. Now, what happens after that? It's tough. And the reason I say that is if you look at the last line of Matt's statement is, but again, it's Nintendo, so I expect to be surprised. I think the issue that we fall into a lot is trying to bring logic to what Nintendo does at times. Nintendo, and I think the reason people like Nintendo so much, despite some of their business practices and things that they do, is because they will surprise you quite often. And it's something that we've lost a bit as social media and the internet and instant gratification, all this stuff for information has kind of taken hold. A lot of times we know about the game before it's even announced because of rumors and leaks and all of these different things. So when Nintendo comes out and does something like Labo and we're like, what? What is this? Like, that is that kind of surprise hit, right? Where you're like, wow, I did not think of that. And Ring Fit Adventure, there are a lot of things that they will do just outside of video games that tie into the Switch that catch us off guard pretty consistently. That Game & Watch, for example, for Mario 35, no one expected them to revive the Game & Watch line to do that. And of course, with games, they'll do these different things as well. Like, everyone wanted Metroid Prime 4, but when they finally showed it, it was this big surprise for a lot of people, and it was really exciting. Now, in hindsight, of course, we're still waiting, and all we've seen is a title card for it, but it's with Retro Studios now, and who knows, maybe next year we'll finally get our first look at something for it. Even if it's just the CGI trailer, I'm just ready to see something with that game. But the point is, it's hard to predict what Nintendo is going to do at all. And when it comes to this, it's even harder because on surface value, like, all of us look at this and say, you know what, they're probably making good money with this. Why would they take it away? Exactly. Now, there are possibilities that these could come back in some form, but there's also the possibility that they just do not. at least not at all this generation. Keep in mind, they could hold off on Mario Galaxy coming back and maybe package it with Mario Galaxy 2 that could be a full remake altogether for the next Switch. That would be pretty cool to see that, and Mario Galaxy is just kind of thrown in there as like a bonus to have alongside of it, packaged in. See, something like that would be really cool, and it would give them a use for Mario Galaxy rather than just take it and, well, just re-release it on the Switch eShop for like $30. And you know what, if they ever did that, where they break all of these games up and sell them separately, digitally even, I don't think they're going to be $20 a piece. I think you could see something like Mario Galaxy's 30, Sunshine's 30, and Mario 64 might be 20, or they could do Galaxy 30, and then they take Sunshine, do that 30, and then take Mario 64, and it becomes one of the headlining games for the N64 Nintendo Switch Online app. Yeah, that's probably what they will at least do with Mario 64. In fact, I'm kind of leaning in the direction that they will not bring these back separately. Instead, they will find different things to do with them, if at all. Like Sunshine just might not come back. That might be it for Sunshine. So if like you want it on the Switch, honestly, you might have to buy it in this package. That's the one thing I'm trying to figure out what they would do with it. Maybe that is the one game that just gets dropped on the eShop. Now I get Mario Sunshine, Mario 64 is Nintendo Switch Online, and Mario Galaxy is packaged with Mario Galaxy 2 when we eventually revisit that game with a remake next generation. See, the issue that Nintendo runs into right now, and it's something that they seem to struggle with currently anyway, is the thought that they could be devaluing their IPs if they pack just too much into one game or one collection. And in this instance, they have 3 different Mario games, 3D Mario games even. And while some people are looking at this and saying it's emulation, it shouldn't be $6, all of this, all Nintendo is seeing is that they have 3 Mario games for $60. To them, that is a problem to a degree over the long term, since they want Mario to be the Mickey Mouse of games. Like that, they've directly compared themselves to Disney at times. And if you think about it, people can pick out Mickey without any real issues. If there's a set of images of all different types of characters, most people can just go, yep, that's Mickey Mouse right there. It's the same thing with Mario if you think about it. You might say, hey, which character here is Mario from the Super Mario franchise or something? And most people would say, oh, yep, that's Mario right there, no problem. I think Nintendo just looks at Disney and then they look at what they have and they're like, well, we don't want to devalue our stuff because we think it is that valuable, and we're not going to have this collection for $60 going on for more than what seems to be 5 or 6 months. It's this balancing act that Nintendo tries to do. That's why you don't see their games drop in price too much, because they don't want their IPs to be viewed as $10 bargain bin games at all. So it's a whole thing. That's why it does end up being fairly expensive to have a Nintendo system, especially if you're trying to get into the first party stuff and you get it now and you look around at all the $60 games from Nintendo that came out, like, you know, at launch. Yeah, that's still a thing right now. But let me know what you guys think about this down below. Put your guesses in for Super Mario 3D All-Stars, because I really do think this package, when it goes away, Nintendo won't split them all up and release them for $20 or $30 each across the board. I think they'll find other uses for these games if they come back at all, and I think it makes sense for the Nintendo 64 online service to have Mario 64 as a headlining game, and then maybe use that Mario Galaxy with a Mario Galaxy 2 remake for the next generation. I just can't figure out what to do with Mario Sunshine. Maybe they just release greatness onto the eShop and put it out there for $30 just by itself. That is the one that deserves its own eShop listing. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video on the way out if you enjoyed it. Dislike it if not, and I'll see you next time.